so that everyone is aware of that. Evelien, do you want to kick it off? No, I'm muted now.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear.
Okay. Thank you all for joining the webinar about youth-led influencing. For who don't know me, I'm Evelien Davidson. I'm working for the Empower Youth for Work project as a global influencing and communications person. And today we have in the webinar 4 country teams of the Empower Youth for Work in Bangladesh, Pakistan, Ethiopia, and Indonesia. And we will hear their best or good practice on youth influence participation. Youth can influence their environment on the topics that matters to them. So we hope to hear inspiring stories today from the teams. So thank you very much, and looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Evelien. And you were breaking up a bit, but the core of the message is that we're going to hear all about youth-led influencing today from different perspectives. Bangladesh a bit more at the youth group level, Pakistan very individual level, Ethiopia on the youth advisory boards within the Empower Youth Work program, and Indonesia on the gender action learning system and how it empowers individuals. We're going to hear best practices, lessons learned, and we will have 4 presentations. They will each take around 10 minutes, so I will give every presenter the word in a few, and we will, for timekeeping, alert you if the time is almost up, so don't be scared if all of a sudden you hear a voice breaking into your presentation. And we will have a Q&A at the end, and how it will work is that we will have a Google Doc, which is currently being shared in the chat box. And in this Google Doc, you can ask all your questions. You can type any question you have in Google during the presentation, and also after the presentation we will have 1 minute to allow questions to come in, and then we'll start with the next presentation. And after that, with the time we have left, we will then go through the questions, see if there's overlap, see if there's like key questions that come out, and allow the presenters to answer back to the questions. We will not have time to answer all questions, but we will keep the Google Doc open during the day, so that still all the presenters can answer all the questions, but then in writing. So without further ado, let's start. So I'll invite Bangladesh to start their presentation. And again, please look at the Google Doc for filling in your questions. So Bangladesh, please go ahead.
Hello, I am Rizvi from Bangladesh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay. First, we shared the demands of youth from. Oh, sorry. I'm Rizvi from Bangladesh, District Youth Advisor, Borishal District. আর হচ্ছে civil engineering students in Global Village Varsity, Borishal. Our first initiative is youth-driven sharing with the candidates of members of parliaments. So, firstly, we decide to work that as a meeting. We called a meeting of, from EYW and discuss with the EYW members to how can we observe the International Youth Day. So there. We shared an idea. So as usual, we collect the demands of youth from EYW work area, such as Rangosri, Borpasha, Borpasha, Koloskathi, এবং হচ্ছে Pajishipur. We collect 12,000 of demands of youth from various. From different types of youth, as like farmers, fisheries. Then we compiled it. We compiled it as like 13 demands, and we shared as like we submit as like we submitted three candidates member sorry for member of parliaments. After that sharing after election, our honorable winner member of parliaments, we meet and she committed us their work for they will work for it. The next initiative of Russia, the Union Apex Body blood group sampling camp. The people of Russia faced some accidents and the emergency case they needs blood, but the people of Russia don't know the blood group of own. For that they cannot donate bloods donate bloods to others to save the life. So world group take the initiative to sampling the blood group, and they shared in Union Apex Body members arrange it by communicate with the Badhan, a national-wide voluntary blood donation organization. They organized it to schools and to high school. Next. This is another initiative from Russia. Youth Corner. We called it the Youth Corner.
Next.
Youth group successfully for work. Sorry.
Okay. Can I interrupt here? Hello.
We can
Hello?
hear.
Okay.
Can I add something here, because he is facing some problem to telling this in English. Can I translate on behalf of Frisbee?
No worries, of course. Yeah, please go ahead.
আপনি বাংলা বলেন?
বাংলা বলতে হবে?
আপনি বাংলা বলেন।
ওকে না। আমরা খুব সুন্দরভাবে ইউনিয়নের যিনি চেয়ারম্যান আছেন তাকে আমরা মানে ইনফ্লুয়েন্স করতে পেরেছিলাম, এবং হচ্ছে যে আমাদের চাহিদা ছিল as a work group needs a room to work well বা follow up this program, so we need a room for youth as early as possible. So we share it, our honorable union Parishad chairperson, and he give us a room in Union Parishad,
Which was used as a storeroom earlier.
The next initiative is climate strike in Borishal. The youth of Borishal arrange a climate strike on the day of 15 March. There is a different NGO and INGO working in Borishal and Khulna for climate change issues. Those are organized together as a network named YouthNet for climate change. With the youth of EYW project also attend this program, because our former DYB member is the lead this program. She proposed to join this program, and our DYB agreed to join this. এবং on 15 March we joined these strikes. We made a human chain and rallies on this day, and it's covered by the different national medias as like Channel I, ATN,
And also
Daily Star, and the papers. And YouTube. Next. Next. Annual Day celebration youth of the Borishal. First we arrange a meeting. And we thought that our ideas, our planning, our action plan, and also different issue. How can I share with others union? So we arrange and we decide as like a picnic. We called it reunion and share something different issues, strategy, working plan, and other activities and initiatives to others union এবং others youth. The DYAB অর্থাৎ District Youth Advisory Board coordinate the whole program, but DYAB create another committee for this for the reunion committee. It's we called it reunion committee 2019. The committee coordinate whole program start to end. Thank you for all.
Okay, thank you so much for these very interesting stories and successes that you shared. So again, if anyone has questions, please write them up. I see we have 1 minute left for the presentation, so perhaps let me ask one question before we move to the next one. I was wondering, because there are very interesting examples of best practices and successes in influencing. And I was wondering to the presenter, also to the Bangladesh team, can you share any insights in what works best in terms of like your interaction with decision makers at, for example, the local level? What kind of challenges that you face, and what do you find really work best to really influence them?
কিভাবে করছেন কোনো চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস করেছেন কিছু?
বিশেষ করে যখন আপনারা হচ্ছে গিয়ে এই ডিমান্ড ফেস করেছেন, তখন কোন চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস করেছেন মিটিং করার সময়?
When we wanted to submit these demands from the policymakers, they are so busy and they are not giving me time properly, but we are waiting for the 3 hours, about 3 hours, and they give me the time to submit it. And next time we call another member of parliament's candidates, and she waited me as a whole day. So as a whole day in the outside of his building, but we are wait for the time, and we are success to submit it.
Okay.
No.
So a key element in your success is persistence, I think we can conclude. Thank you so much for sharing, and we'll wait for other questions to come in as well at the end. And let's move for now, also looking at time, to the next presentation. So can I invite Pakistan to present? See here, I'm going to unmute you.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, Ronald. This is Seher. We have, our youth innovator Afsana, and she'll be doing the presentation part. She's comfortable speaking in a bilingual manner. So I'll request all the participants to please go through the presentation content, and I'll come back with the translations at the question answers time. Is it okay?
Okay, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So please, Afsana, go ahead with the presentation.
My name is Afsana Lakher. I am youth innovator under EYW project in Jamshoro, Sindh, Pakistan. मेरा ताल्लुक उस फैमिली से है जहाँ बच्ची की तालीम पर कोई तवज्जो नहीं दी जाती थी, और वहाँ पर जब बच्ची पैदा होती थी तो उसकी पैदाइश पर कोई खुशी मनाई नहीं जाती थी। पर मैंने उन सारी रुकावटों को तोड़कर अपनी तालीम हासिल की, और मैं अपने खानदान की पहली लड़की हूँ जिसने ग्रेजुएशन तक तालीम हासिल की। My education was stopped after 10 grades following local traditions. I used to write stories since my childhood, so I used my skill and wrote an article on the importance of girls' education and sent it to local newspaper. The article got published, and my father read the articles. He got tears in his eye when he read my view on education and allow me to continue my studies. My father was my support throughout his life. After his death, getting education was near to impossible due to pressure from relatives. In spite of strong opposition, I did not lose hope and got admission in college. I started giving tuition at my home to save money for myself and also to support my family. When I hear about the exciting opportunity of EYW project and innovation hub, I convinced my mother and joined EYW project as youth innovator leader. EYW project opened up new horizons of opportunity for me, where I got master trained on life skills, job relevance, micro business and farming. I not only form my own youth group, but also support other youth groups in nearby areas to participate in a project. I am also part of Youth Technical Committee, which is working to influence government officials. I still write in local newspaper on different youth issues, especially issues faced by young girls. Girls in my community did not have much exposure and were not allowed to participate in different activities out of their home. But access to education, including in decision making and space for employment, seemed a luxury for many girls in my community. I helped many girls in my neighborhood to be part of EYW project. I influenced community leaders and selected member of a union council to support young girls. I visit nearby communities and help other girls to form youth groups. I participate in many campaigns, including Clean and Green campaigns. I influence youth to take active part in the campaign as well. On International Women's Day, I was awarded Appreciated Shield by Lumps University as Young Women Role Model. I invite my family to witness that proud moment. I meet with the president of Pakistan recently during a young women leadership conference organized under EYW project in Islamabad and share my story. President was so touched my story that he called back my struggle in his speech and asked other young girls to get inspired. I am on my way to get master's degree in English literature and pursue my career as lecturer. I am working under EYW project as intern I am also following my passion for writing articles on development issues and will continue raising my voice. I inspire many young girls of District Jamshoro to pursue their dreams. As part of a young technical committee, I am preparing a fact sheet on challenges faced by young women to enter the business world. I have learned that I am the writer of my own story, so I will keep paving my ways to pursue my dreams and will continue inspiring other young girls to follow theirs.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Say, Harry, you have anything you still want to add, or?
Yeah, I think I don't have anything additional to what I said, but she has started working with us just 8 or 7 months before, so she has been engaging in getting engaged in a number of influencing activities, and she's taking lead. But most of it, I think her role has been in terms of she's a role model for other young girls as well in the similar kind of communities where girls are not allowed to get out of their homes. And this was, her meeting with president was one of the very inspiring stories, and that her family is really proud of, her contribution and the way she is progressing. So she wants to become a lecturer in English literature, and she wants to continue her writing skills as well. And we really hope that, she will keep contributing into the development sector in the times to come. So that's all I think.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you so much, Afsana, for your very inspirational stories. And again, we have 1 minute left, so perhaps let me invite everyone to add questions in the Google Doc, but let me also immediately ask now perhaps one question that might be interesting. Afsana, what I heard in your stories was you were very successful in mobilizing your peers, other girls in your communities, to join your groups or to set up their own groups. I was wondering if you have any insights in what helped you most in terms of really mobilizing other girls in your community, even if not all community members perhaps might agree to that. Do you have anything to share?
Yeah. Sana, should I translate?
Yes.
हाँ, ये पूछ रहा है कि आपका ज्यादातर रोल जो है वो अभी तक रहा है अपनी कम्युनिटी में अपनी तरह की ही यंग बच्चियों को जो है वो मोटिवेट करने का ना, तो आपको उसमें आपका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा? आपको लगता है क्या चीज थी जिसने सबसे ज्यादा पॉजिटिवली काम किया? मतलब क्या चीज थी जिसमें लोगों को सही मानों में इंस्पायर किया कि वो अपने बच्चों को, अपनी लड़कियों को जो है वो अलाउ कर सकें कि वो प्रोजेक्ट का हिस्सा बने?
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल। मेरे लिए ये है कि पहले मैं लिखती थी आर्टिकल के लड़कियों की तालीम बहुत इंतहाई जरूरी है, लेकिन मैं वहां जाकर उनको बता नहीं सकती थी। लेकिन इस प्रोजेक्ट के थ्रू मैं अपनी कम्युनिटी में गई, उनको ये बात समझाई, उन्हें रियलाइज कराया कि लड़कियों की तालीम बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। और मैंने जो आर्टिकल लिखे और जो मैंने अपनी कम्युनिटी में जाकर विजिट किया और उन्हें समझाया, तो उन्होंने ये चेंजिंग आई है कि अब मेरे जितने भी जो हमारे खानदान वाले हमें सपोर्ट नहीं करते थे, हमारी एजुकेशन के खिलाफ थे, वही अब अपनी लड़कियों को तालीम दिलवा रहे हैं। और हमारे इलाके की बहुत सारी लड़कियां हैं जो अभी तालीम हासिल कर रही हैं और मेरी ग्रुप का हिस्सा भी है वो।
Okay, thank you, Sana. So Ronald, she's saying that previously when she used to write articles, so she was missing the direct contact with with other community girls, and that was her her wish to actually meet directly with people, with elderly women, and convince them about the importance of education of young girls and their participation in the economic life. So now with the platform of this project, she has now got that opportunity, and she's continuously visiting different communities and inspiring them, telling them her own story of success, and sharing that if she can do that, then their girls can also come out of their houses and can contribute positively in the economic life. Also, she's saying that I'm trying to also convince them that how they can minimize the risk, because it's not always the negative side that should actually hamper the positive side as well. So there are positive stories like her, and this one-on-one interaction is already contributing quite a lot in terms of inspiring even elderly women as well, that there are some successful stories as well.
Okay, very interesting insights. Thanks so much for sharing that. Let's move to the next presentation from Ethiopia. I can invite Fakaru to present. Fakaru, you're unmuted, so please go ahead. Can you hear us, Fakaru? Nothing happening yet.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Fekadi Ethiopia. I'm a communications officer for the Empower Youth for Work project, and I also lead or coordinate all the influencing activities of the project. We have tried to bring members of the Youth Advisory Board to this webinar, but we were not successful because they are living very far away from here, and the internet connectivity is not reliable in those geographical locations. So I will be presenting the presentation related to Youth Advisory Board. As you might know, Ethiopia is a country with a high rate of unemployment, especially amongst its growing young population. The vicious cycle of poverty and unemployment is worse for girls and young women, with 22% of youth unemployment rate for age groups between 15 to 29. The issue of unemployment remains one of the major pressing problems for the country. According to the country's Central Statistics Agency, male unemployment is nearly 13%, and the situation is even worse for female youth population. Female youth unemployment is more than 29%. In the past 4 years, just to give you the general picture about the situation of youth in this country, the country's political landscape has been changed dramatically through an active participation of the youth that saw youth-led initiations in influencing policies and the overall political and economic situation of the country, among others. Political, economic, and democratic rights voiced through social media in the past 4 years, orchestrating protests, in some instances unrest, mass strike, boycott. Young activities have managed to rally the largely unemployed youth of the country. This resulted in recurrent state of emergencies and at times deadly clashes between security forces and protesters. The government introduced the new Youth Revolving Fund, allocating 10 billion Ethiopian birr. Despite this, the protests continued and resulted in the toppling down of the then leader, the Prime Minister. A new Prime Minister who has taken so many measures, including political reforms, have been sworn in last year, a year ago. It is in this context that we are implementing this project, focusing on rural and semi-urban youth. Within this target group, 70% are in the 15 to 24 age group. The remaining 30% are in the 25 to 29 age group. Moving to the next slide. Why we work with the Youth Advisory Board? A year ago, literally, it was challenging and sometimes impossible to work with Youth Advisory Board because of the pressures on the youth population and the draconian rule of civil society and civil society law now, which is changed the pressure exerted on the government and as part of the reforms by the recent government. So I think we have a conducive environment now to involve and engage with the user advisory board. The project has a use-led approach. Apart from this, user advisory board is ideal for use-led approach. It is also instrumental to engage young people across the target area group to identify their needs and help set local priorities. The user advisory board is established with an objective of serving as a platform to support young people to voice their demands and ensure meaningful participation in matters that concerns them. And they locally participate on the evaluation of the project impacts and at different levels of the project. The board is intended to serve as a sounding board for effective strategies and decisions related to the project. Many members of the user advisory board have experience in voicing their community needs in different structures and organizations, local structures. And sometimes, not sometimes, in many instances, it incorporates young men and women who have been targeted in other project activities, user structures at different levels, and other users who would like to attend and have their say in matters affecting their lives. Moving to the next slide, the user advisory board is engaging itself with the project, especially since October 7, 2018. On this day, it is a day that focal persons to follow up the establishment of the board have been elected. These members comprise vibrant young women and men who are interested in having a voice within their community. The board in each of the target districts is intended to involve 9 to 11 young women and men members. Since then, they have tried to work with the project on different workshops and events and helped us to understand more the issues affecting young people. They are playing a significant role in informing the work of the project by reflecting on the work from the perspectives of a young person, since they are at the age group of youth. Recently, members of the board initiated an event to call for institutional recognition of customary laws that protect young women and girls from any form of gender-based violence. The need for focusing on these customary laws emanated from the issues of inaccessibility of formal justice system for the remote rural areas in which women are affected most as a result. Okay. The user advisory board is supporting the thinking and work of the project by acting as a sounding board of activities, strategies, and decisions related to the project. It is also acting as a source of creativity and ideas for strategies and approach to better engage and inspire young people in the work of the project at various stages. It is also serving as a panel of young people to engage in the monitoring and evaluation of plans, activities, and ideas for the project, especially relating to engaging with youth and ensuring their voices are present. A challenging voice and critical eye to a clear commitment and action by the project that embraces the spirit and aim of the broader program activities to engage directly with the youth as active citizens in fulfilling their rights to health and education services, unemployment, in the efforts in curbing unemployment. This is done by co-creating the spaces and facilitating opportunities for them to fully engage in decisions and work that directly impacts their and their peer groups' lives. Okay.
Vakani, you have 1 minute left.
Okay. I think the recent engagements of this user advisory board incorporates attending and celebrating International Youth Day. We use these events to bring about so many stakeholders together, including government stakeholders. In these platforms, the user advisory board had the opportunity to voice the needs and aspirations of the youth in their localities, and we have also brought financial service providers. There are some issues raised by the youth in relation to the financial service provided. So the members of the user advisory board voiced their concerns about the financial services provided to the youth. We have also invited in some other events, including the Global Learning event, which was conducted in Ethiopia last year. They have presented their experience, successes, and challenges on that specific event. And they are also actively participated in the recent annual evaluation meeting and tabled their experiences and concerns to us. So we are considering to address these issues in our future engagements with them and with the project. Thank you for listening. If you have any question, please welcome. I and Bro Halam can react on that together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vakado, for sharing this presentation. And again, indeed, in case of any questions, please make use of the Google Doc to ask your questions, and then Vakado and Biro Halam can answer them. We're moving now from the youth advisory boards in Ethiopia to Indonesia, and we're going to look at empowerment of youth using the gender action learning system and how that contributes to youth-led influencing. So for the Indonesian team, please take it away. Faki, I'm going to unmute you. I think you're the presenter. I hope you can hear us. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ronald, for the time. AU Indonesia will present about the gender action learning system. And for the composition of the team itself, we have one project manager and me, Faki, as influencing officer, and now with me Steady as program assistant, and also another team, Hari is our program assistant also. Now, Steady will start the presentation about the girls.
Okay, now I will start to explain about what GALS is it. So, GALS is a STEM meaning gender action learning system. So it's a community-led empowerment methodology that aims to give women or as well more control their lives and catalyze and support a sustainable movement for gender justice. So the focus is analyzing and breakthrough and gender-based barriers at individual levels, and with the family and personal networks as challenge that prevents men as well as women from achieving their vision. So in Indonesia, EYW implement it to enable environment that will support youth, especially young women, to tackle gender inequality among youth and mobilize them, their families and communities for changing deep-rooted social norms and behavior. And also through GALS, who also like to strengthen the agency of young women with focus on exploration, decision, influencing in the household, right awareness, self-esteem, group membership, and leadership skills. Next to the girls tools. Um, so there is girls tools. There are gender balance tree, diamond empowerment, vision journey, and multi-line highway. All tools require participants to draw, so all the results are visual. The first is gender-based tree, is the tool to analyze gender roles between young women and young men in the family and community. This gender balance tree is a powerful way of consolidating into one tool information often collected by gender tools such as access control profile and time schedule. Everyone goes away with their own individual analysis, their own reality, not a stereotyped view. The next is diamond empowerment.
Okay, and then the next is the vision journey itself. This is a tools to identify youth goals in the next 1 until 3 years. That's the long term. The pictures that you see in the presentations that both of girls that the woman with the hijab with the cover her hair has a vision that uh, to be a designer, the clothing designer, and the young woman without the without cover her hair is have a vision to get to the uh, another education, higher educations to be in master degree also, and yeah.
And also, the vision journey is like a first stage towards the individual multi-line highway. It produces a plan to help people work towards one reachable element of their vision from the soulmate visioning exercise. This is a small business, government, or sending children to school as a part of the longer-term vision.
Yeah. Okay. Next is the diamond empowerment. This is the tools to identify the stereotype between a young woman and also young men. These tools is can function in the community level that we can see the picture that we saw in the presentations. The pink is already that's what's the activities that likes by the young woman and young men, and the green it's what's the activities that they don't like they don't like for instance like okay a young woman is likes to working to do the domestic works, and but the young woman itself do not doesn't like to have limitations for them to go out to the uh, public area. So this is to identify the issues in the community level. Next. Yeah, this is Amalia. Amalia is one of our champion that already finished the stage more this initially the stage is finished for 1 year, but she already get her vision, her impian apa? Her dream to be a makeup artist for the wedding. So now, currently, she become peer to peer and also a leader and the role model to the other persons, and teach the community about these tools. Right? Yeah, this is the God's works in the community levels. That's five stages that we already implement in one of our province, because this is the God's itself, the tools for the pilot project. Sometimes these tools takes 6 months until 9 months to conduct from the first from the beginning from the TOT until applying the GALS in their youth hub. So it takes 6 months until 9 months to do the GALS and to at least to raise their awareness and
Are you still there?
yeah. Next presentation.
Oh, good. And just to remind you of time, we have 4 minutes left.
Oh, okay. And then the step by steps that I already present is it takes 6 until 9 months. That the girls adaptation workshop and TOT for Catalyst Phase E itself, it's for the young people and the community. And then after that, they will rolling out the tools to the community. So it's like multi-level marketing that they will teach the other persons to get the GALS tools. And then to monitor this individual and community planning, we conduct the vision journey planning to have informations and also update how far they already do the activities based on their planning. And also after that, the community action learning to change the behavior and attitudes and develop tools of champions. It's involving not only young people but also the other stakeholders like the religious leader, the government, and also the village authority that more or less have an impact to the young people life. And also the last one is participatory gender review. It's we review that the participations of not only the young people but also the other stakeholders to get insight and also what kind of the intervention that we can take in the village. Next. Yeah, this is the implementations we already implement with the 24 young leaders, with the community leaders, the local authorities, and of some partners. And after the training, more than until now, more than 250 beneficiaries we already reach out through the rolling out change catalyst workshop in the Pitusung and Pitue village, but also in the other districts. Not only in Pitusung and Pitue village, but also in the other districts. And the best practice is, the youth are able to identify the gender stereotypes. Now, the young people that already get GALS tools, it's can divine the domestic worker. It's not only done by a woman but also by man. And also the youth, the previous they don't have any special dream, the vision, but now they have visions at least 6 until 1 year ahead. And also one of the youth during the Catalyst workshop said that after the learning GALS, she is inspired to reach the goals. And she now become the makeup artist. Next. This is the Amelia. Before she is really shy, but after we give the GALS tools, she can speak out even in their family, in the public area during the village meeting, in the village level, in the community level. So now she can speak up about about her life. Next. Yeah, this is the two best practice that the result from the GALS itself. The left is Nur Halisa. Nur Halisa is the makeup artist. Initially, she plans to have a 1 year planning, but fortunately, she can get her visions to be a makeup artist in the wedding just only in 6 months. And the right pictures, the right side pictures is I dreamt to have my own enterprise. This is Haikal. Haikal is our youth champion. Now he already her communications, her handphone stall to fix the handphone. Previously he working with the village authority, but now he gets another income from his entrepreneur. Next. Yeah, after that, the six youth champion conducted the golf training to the community, but the good is not only to the young people, but they conducted they give the training to the government, to the adult, that they will really prepare them to be a good public. Okay.
And you have 1 more minute, Faki.
Okay. Yeah, this is the youth learning about the vision journey, about the planning in 6 months until the 1 year. Next. Yeah, this is the TOT, the training of trainer, the Catalyst workshop in South Sulawesi that involves the 24 young people, and it's equal 12 boys and 12 girls. Next. And this is when we had the training in the local in the community level. This is the sign for end child marriage. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faki,
Yeah.
and others for sharing. Looking at time, we have officially 3 minutes left, but let's smuggle in a few minutes if everyone agrees, because then we can still take a quick look at the Google document. We'll not be able to engage in all the questions, but I saw some people already started answering the questions, so very nice, and please continue to do so in writing. You can have all the questions addressed by the end of the day. Let's take a quick peek now, and my colleague Pina here next to me has been keeping an eye out on the Google Doc. And we will take 2 questions now as a snapshot to see what is coming in.
Okay, so there's a question for the Bangladesh team. What are your main obstacles if you like to influence decision makers? For example, is age a problem? And how do you overcome challenges?
Looking at the Bangladesh team to answer, and I'll unmute you. I hope it will still work. Bangladesh team, can you still hear us? Doesn't seem to work. Perhaps for now, let's move to the second question we selected.
Okay, the second question is for Pakistan team, and it was how did Afshana inspire other girls, and was there an active way of doing this?
Zahir, I'll unmute you. Zahir, can you hear us? I'm getting a bit worried now that no one can hear us anymore. If anyone can hear us, can you please write into the text box? I see you typing, so I can hear all of them. Okay, good. So we have 2 questions, but it seems that both teams are not able to answer for now. So perhaps let's go to a third question. The Ethiopia team.
So the Ethiopia team, how do you choose the young members, and how do they represent their peers?
Karu, I'm unmuting. choosing of the YOP members, and how do we deal with representation? Ricardo, can you still hear us?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah,
I think the question is how we have selected user advisory board members.
Yes.
Okay, I and Bro Halam can react on this. Just to begin with, we used the existing organized use groups and structures to form user advisory boards in each of the intervention project intervention areas. There are various structures of use organized or established by their own initiatives or by government interventions. These groups were not, in some instances, they are functional, and in others, they are just not active. So we have just used these organized platforms. On the day I've mentioned, while we were celebrating the International Youth Day, we organized a selection that could coordinate and lead the establishment of more user advisory boards in each of the project intervention areas. This is the process. Bruhalam will add more on this.
English translate করে দিতে পারবেন তো সরি তো অ্যানসারটা হচ্ছে যখন কমিউনিটি লেভেলে কথা বলবেন তো
Ronald?
Hi, thank you so much, Ricardo, and the Bangladesh team is back. So perhaps we can answer the Bangladesh question now. Pina, can you please repeat the question?
Yes, so what are the main obstacles if you like to influence decision makers, and for example, is age a problem, and how do you overcome these challenges?
Can I translate this for him and I can in English?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. সবচেয়ে বড় চ্যালেঞ্জ কোনটা? আমার চ্যালেঞ্জটা আছে, কিন্তু মানে সবচেয়ে বেশি যেটা ফেস করেন সেটা, এবং এটাকে আপনারা কিভাবে সলভ করেন। আর আপনার ক্ষেত্রে হচ্ছে বয়সটাকে আপনার সমস্যা মনে হয় যে আমরা ইউথের কথা সিরিয়াসলি নেয় না, এরকম কোনো ইস্যু কাজ করে না?
ইউথদের ওরা অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট করে, কিন্তু বিষয়টা হচ্ছে ওরা সময় দিতে চায় না। মানে যখনই যাই তখনই বলে যে বিজি, এইটা একটা সময়। আর হচ্ছে আমরা ওভারকাম করেছি সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ধৈর্যের মাধ্যমে। আমরা যতক্ষণই বিজি বলেছি ফ্রি না হওয়া পর্যন্ত বসে থাকবো, আমরা যাবো না। শুধু এটা আমরা যে কোনো ক্ষেত্রে সেটাই করেছি যে আমরা না কথা শেষ করে যাবো না।
Okay. Rizvi is sharing that whenever they face any problem regarding to meet influencing people or duty bearers or policy makers, they are facing the problem having time of those person, because they are keep busy in other national issue or other local priority issue, political issues, and they don't have much time for this youth kind of things. So youth people are always keep their patience, and they keep waiting for their time, and whenever they try to meet them, they all are keep waiting for their time, and the till they are not getting the time of that person, they keep waiting and reluctantly try to meet the person. So and also took help from other people who are directly connected to the policymakers or chairperson. So they also seek help from those person to meet that chairman or other policymakers. That's it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing. So looking at the time, we're at the end of the webinar. Of course, there are more questions still open. So what we will do, we'll keep the Google Doc open for today. And can I ask all the presenters to please take a final look to answer in writing the various questions that have been posed. And then today, tomorrow, we will share this recording, the PowerPoint and Google Doc as a package over Workplace, Facebook, whatever you have. For now, because we're at the end, let me thank everyone who has joined, and especially, of course, the various presenters who have shared their experiences, their stories, the youth, Oxfam colleagues. Thank you so much. Very interesting collection of experiences. I hope it's very inspirational for others. Yeah, the Google Doc will be open to answer any remaining questions, and everything will be shared in the end. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the webinar now. I will stop the recording and see you again in the next meeting or our next webinar. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
কোনো কি নির্দিষ্ট টাইম আছে টকের কোশ্চেন আর অ্যান্সার দেওয়ার?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us.
এভরি মাঝখানে আমাকে অবশ্য
Have a nice day.